Okay, I am recording. So, hello guys. I want to say first and foremost, I'm very sorry for forgetting about this. I only just realized that I messed up here and forgot to record CC. Oops. Anyhow, I'm gonna get back and record this right now while I remember, since there's not much else going on right now. So I have two sets today to take a look at. Those are gonna be from Infoverse the Scapegoat and Infoverse Scythan. So when you're taking a look at both of these, trying to read them best I can, and if you want, definitely feel free to throw these in VOD review and get a second pair of eyes to be able to watch through them a second, third, even fourth time, because I might miss some things. But yeah, we're gonna vibe. Hopefully I'll give some decent advice here. Yeah, so jumping right into it. There we go. Going to Forest Floor Game 1, I think that makes a lot of sense for this matchup. Both characters do a lot to kill off the top. So the Forest Floor pick is fairly strong for both. Obviously both players will need to be careful about their DI off the top. Watching out for their drift and stuff. Generally with vertical survival DI, you're aiming towards the corners as a general rule of thumb. It can definitely get more complicated than that, but that's normally what you're trying to think about. So definitely keep that in mind. Again, we're going for a bit of a ladder right there, but not getting it. That's definitely one thing I personally use a lot of setter burn. Okay, Bear F strong. So normally most setters will go for Bear F strong, as it'll kill a bit earlier. The F strong works right there, but it's a little bit less consistent than F strong, I'd say. And okay, off of a parry like that, your best punish is going to be down air, normally, at low percents, or shine. So try to work on stuff like shine F tilt. Shine F strong is a really powerful confirm, and it's also more difficult to do consistently. So for starters, shine F tilt, down air up strong, down air up air are all really strong and simple things that I like to use as setter. As far as what Scapegoat's doing here, let's probably look at what they're doing a bit too. Okay, jab in the opposite direction. And okay, catching with the up strong. And I feel like that was a bit of a delayed response. Since up strong has a lingering hitbox, you could have probably just tried to make sure that Info didn't have much of a choice but to go right into it. And yeah, that move is awkward to DI. Gotta be ready for it. So when you're trying to push to the ledge like that, I'd say down tilt is probably your best option. Putting Cloud at ledge will also just completely shut down what they can do. That's probably the single strongest option for edge guarding, maybe the entire game. It's extremely brutal to deal with. And if you're already there like that, D-tilt's, I think, normally your best bet for hitting below the ledge. And Fireball into the F strong. Alright. It's working out. Info taking game 1 here. Game 2 we're going to Aramata, which again, low ceiling. What do I think as far as stage picks go in this matchup? Oh, okay. Good save right there. Escape, almost messing that up. But still hanging on. Oh geez. Okay, if we're getting a little bit greedy with the dares. On Aramata, against Absa, I feel like your best bet for edge guarding probably will be setting up for a sweet spot fair, right? Because you still have... Oh no. Okay, good recovery. But yeah, because of the small side blast zones as well as the small top blast zones, right? The small side blast zones mean that Zitter's sweet spot fair is going to go really early if you can land it off stage. So trying to throw some of those out to line up for it would be really nice. One thing I can throw out for a Scapegoat, mention, is that popping clouds off stage is a really nice way to stall your recovery and give yourself some extra mix-ups. Zitter's aerial, Absa's aerial mobility is pretty absurd, so using those cloud pop mix-ups is really nice. And with parry, unfortunate, but it's how it is. I wouldn't say that was a bad option from Goat, in all fairness. It's kind of an unfortunate thing that can happen sometimes. Oop, okay. I feel like dare right there, because of the lower percent. I'm inclined to say that trying to go into a dare would have been a better option. And okay, so that was a good use of the bomb. You probably could have put it a little bit more towards the corner, but still a good option. However, the big mistake right there was that you didn't really do anything off of it. Once you hit the bomb, you just sort of stood there. Because it hit, you could have definitely just up aired and probably gotten the kill. However, even if it didn't, like if you weren't sure if it was going to hit, you probably could have moved, you could have tried moving around the bomb and adding extra pressure to where info could move in the corner. By just letting the bomb go off and not really just standing there, you severely limit your options for both getting extra damage off of the bomb and also just restricting their recovery in general, which are both things that Absol can do really well if you're willing to be a bit more proactive, which I would highly recommend. Okay, ooh. Almost air dodging into it again, but not this time. And getting... Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's one of those situations where you gotta be ready to DI. DI is super important in this game, so... making those mistakes is gonna cost you a ton. And something we've talked about is scapegoat, but I'll mention it again. Right, you just want to do, like, jab in that situation, and don't do the follow-up immediately. I'd say also jab detail is a little bit more reliable. It's not as easy to combo off of, but you'll get the damage more of the time. Jab up tilt seems like it'd be a little wonky. And fire up strong right in the corner. Hate to see it. Okay, I feel like actually down strong right there might have covered all of your options. Good. Okay, I feel like info's to info. You're relying really heavily on down B right now. I think I mentioned this to you already, but I'll say it again. Back air is a disjoint option you have, so that's a really nice way to control space and make it harder for opponents to challenge you while also getting a burn on them and staying safe. It's a really good move. The reward of it in and of itself isn't super high, but once you get down hit falling, which should be one of the first things you do, if you can hit fall it well, there are a decent amount of ways you can follow up with it. You can go for more bears to just like, I guess, get the extra 2%. You can go for up strong for a kill confirm, which is one of your easiest kill confirms to setter. You have options like that at your disposal that are absolutely worth keeping in mind. But alright, Info's gonna be taking that set 3-0. Somewhere. That's gonna be Info versus Scythen. That's basically good here, so we can just jump right into it. I'm going to Tower of Heaven Game 1. This is definitely one of those stages where I'd recommend... Oh, I think I see what you're... Were you going for a dare right there? If so, very nice, but you didn't really go for it. I don't... Ooh. You know, I look like an ODI from Scythen. So yet again, just one of those... Oh. Okay, so... When you're edgeguarding setter uppy, I want to say Ori Dare would trade with it, but you're also giving Info a free tech chance. A really simple way to edgeguard with Ori would be to use Soul Charge. So Sign is probably the hardest thing to learn with Ori at first, but yeah, like probably simplest. That was a very fast game. Damn, Fire Strongs are terrifying. Probably the easiest use of Sign is simply an edgeguard. When you have an edgeguard set up, You start charging sign, you run in the corner, you run away from the corner, pop sign when they're forced to come past ledge. That's going to work really well versus setter, as if, especially at lower levels, it's going to be recovering very linearly and probably just chilling in the corner most of the time. Because even if, whether they're using up B or down B, most of the time they're either just going to land right in the corner or on a platform. So Sign will do a decent, like, Sign could probably cover both of those, to be honest. And then at that point you get a chance to follow up with an up air or a back air, maybe a fair, basically any aerial. But yeah, it gives you chances for follow-ups. So again, like I said with Goat on the bombs, be proactive with that. If you're thinking you can hit a Sign charge, stay mobile and do your best to chase them down and make sure you're pressing that advantage. I think you were wall clinging right there. Oh, don't forget the air dodge when you're recovering. Like, this goes for everyone. Air dodge gives you a ton of extra recovery options that are really strong. Lets you stall more, gives you more distance, stuff like that. It's incredibly useful, and you can live it on the stage. Those are all options that I think are really good, especially because both Ori and Zeta are pretty, well, I guess not so much Zeta. But Zeta has a difficult recovery, and Ori is kind of in the same boat, and also just a little bit more lackluster, if you ask me. But yeah. So wave landing on the stage is a really important mix-up. Can keep you a lot safer. I feel like both of you are really not hit falling very much. But we tech those. Say then, if you're not really used to teching, what's the best way to practice teching? Is there a really good way? I actually don't know a great way to do it, but definitely make sure that you're on the lookout for those. It's an important part of survivability early on. But what was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh yeah, it looks like neither of you are hit falling too many of your moves. As I mentioned earlier, hit falling is extraordinarily important, so definitely get hit falling in your muscle memory as soon as possible. Yeah, that look good. Those are non-hit fall up airs, yeah. If you need practice with it, one way I actually recommend practicing it that I think most people wouldn't think to do is Aether Frozen Fortress. You can just go and mash hitfall aerials on the wall, so it's like Shadow Moses. That's a really nice way to practice hitfalling for a bit. And just sort of get the motion in your hands, and then obviously it'll be harder to apply to an actual match, but it's a decent starting point. Another way you can do it is to try to do hitfall combos, use Rano and like put him in a bubble, and especially if you force the DI down, it's a lot easier. You can get like 6 hitfalls or something with a full stack bubble. And yeah, once again you're seeing, sorry for the slight delay in what I'm saying, I'm just finishing that point. Once again, you're getting a little bit greedy with the down air. Another option you have actually with edge guarding, because like pretty much all of your aerials can edge guard in one form or another as Ori. I think up air would have been really good in that situation, because up air has some like silly on a disjoint that should be able to beat out Zeta up B somewhat. So that could be a move worth trying out, I think. I'm gonna go into Rockwall game 3. Fairly good Ori stage, just again, be careful of your DI. The stage is something that I could like to compare to Russian Roulette, where everyone just sort of dies so early that if you're picking it, you have to accept the fact that sometimes you're gonna get gimmicked out and die early. And this is, I say that as Rockwall being like my favorite stage. You have to be careful when you pick it, because sometimes if you don't DI properly, you're gonna have that happen, and it's really unfortunate. It's probably the riskiest counter pick in the game, except for maybe Aramata, but the reward can also be just as high if you know how to use it well. Yeah, unfortunate. Okay, getting air strong. And again, hitfall, important. I mean, I am noticing. I also point out that for both of you guys, your movement seems really stiff right now. I'm seeing a lot of just sort of running along the ground. It's like the occasional dash dance, maybe the occasional, yeah, like some wavelands here and there. This is more so for info. I definitely recommend working on wavelanding some if you can. That's a very helpful technique to improve your mobility as a setter. I do think we've been over most of it, so hopefully you've already started to work on it. But I am seeing like a few points here. Like, so one way I can point out that I think might be relevant to some of the things you're doing here is like when you're doing ladder combos, wave landing is really nice to sort of quickly get yourself on the platform and let you use your first jump, starting from a higher up point to like save your double jump. That's one way that I'll use it a lot, essentially as a tool for gaining height. So I'll do like jump waveland, jump up air as both of my characters to gain height and give myself more space in juggle situations. So overall, that's a few of these sort of first glance things I noticed from you guys. Movement's always a big thing at this level that I point out as being something to work on. So once you guys find the time, I know it's not always easy, but definitely take a look at that. And yeah, hopefully there is something helpful you can pick out there. I'm sorry if my voice is really scratchy and tired right now, because I'm a little bit tired right now, but it happens. So I hope to see you guys in future CK events, and hopefully, like I said, something I said may be helpful. I don't know, this is a mess, goodbye.